Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now the weather is getting colder, it's a great time to make soups. And I'd like to show you today how to make a wonderful delicious soup out of yellow split peas. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit the subscribe. Let's get started. So on my counter I have the ingredients to make my delicious yellow split pea soup. So let's go through them. We've got 300 grams of yellow split peas, and I like to soak them in cold water for a couple of hours. This helps to speed up the cooking process. Next to that we have 2 litres of chicken stock. Then we have 150 grams of diced carrot. We have 200 grams of leek, which we're going to chop up and make sure it's well washed. We've got 150 grams of shallots, which we're also going to roughly chop up. We've got 50 grams of serrano ham, but if you don't have serrano ham you can use any kind of air-dried ham. We've got 8 chicken fillets, which weigh approximately 270 grams. At the front here we have a good pinch of saffron, which we're going to cover with boiling water to help bring out the flavour of the saffron. We've got about 6 to 8 basil leaves that we're going to cut up for the garnish. We've got 4 grams of fresh garlic, which we're going to crush, and we've got 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to heat up 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Wait till the olive oil gets a little warmer. And then we're going to add our carrots, shallots, give that a good stir to coat it with the oil. And now we'll add our leeks. Give that a good stir. And we want to cook this for about 5 minutes, but we don't want any colour on it. So it's important to stir it from time to time. So while our leeks and shallots and carrots are cooking, I've started to heat our stock up, because it's important to have hot stuff when you're making soup. And we're going to add our saffron and all our saffron water into our soup. And we're also going to add our crushed 4 grams of garlic straight into the stock, starting to flavour that delicious stock. So I've taken my yellow split peas that we soaked for a couple of hours, and now we're giving it a good wash off before we use them. Just put them in there, run the cold water, just to get some of the starch out. Just give them a final rinse. And now they're ready to use. So the carrot, leek and shallot mixture have been cooking now for about 5 minutes, and you can see the carrots and the leeks and the shallots are much softer now. So we're now ready to add our 300 grams of split yellow peas. Make sure we get them all. Right, give that a good stir around. So now we can start adding our stock, our chicken stock. Add the stock gradually, just stir that in. Give it another good stir to make sure that nothing's sticking to the bottom of your saucepan. And I think we can gradually add the rest of the stock. Now we want to bring the soup up to a simmer and cook it until all the ingredients are nice and tender. So the soup has had about 45 minutes simmering, and all the ingredients are soft now. So we're going to start putting it through our food processor. I'm trying to get an even amount of both the vegetables and the stock. And we don't want to do all this in one go. So we might take 2 or 3 goes to puree this amount of soup. So we're going to pour this into our clean soup pot and then puree some more. So you can see that the soup looks pretty amazing already, but we're going to refine it a little more and make it silky smooth by passing it through my fine sieve. So if you choose to do this, you really need to work all the fibre of the soup against the sieve to make sure that you don't lose any at all. I'll show you again. Ladle in, and then just work that ladle around the sieve and just keep pressing, and eventually you'll get more and more of the pulp going through, but it will be silky smooth, and we'll show you what that looks like when we've done it all. So I've finished straining the soup as well to make it absolutely silky smooth. As you can see, still got lots and lots of body in it, but it's silky smooth. And now we're going to season it with a little bit of black pepper and salt. It doesn't need too much because you've got other salt from the chicken stock, and remember we're going to add some Serrano ham, which will also be salty. So this is the Serrano air dried ham. We're going to use this in 2 different ways for the garnish. We're just going to cut these pieces in half, and we're going to crisp up these 4 pieces in a hot pan. And there is plenty of soup here for at least 4 to 6 people. And the rest of Serrano ham I'm just going to cut into thin strips into julienne, and we're just going to sprinkle this as is into the hot soup. So for the Serrano ham garnish, we're just going to put a tiny drizzle of the olive oil that was remaining. Let that spread round our pan. Just we don't want our Serrano ham sticking to our pan. We got it on medium high. And we're just going to lay those flat, and they'll crisp up pretty quickly, so it'll be a nice contrast to the soft Serrano ham that we julienne and just drop into the soup. So the Serrano ham has had about 90 seconds, 2 minutes on one side. We're just going to turn it over. And we're going to give it about 2 minutes on this side, and then we're going to drain it on paper towel. So we're using our basil leaves as part of the garnish for the soup. So I'm going to show you how to make a chiffonade from these basil leaves. Now chiffonade is something wherever you roll up an ingredient, could be cabbage, could be lettuce, could be basil leaves, and slice them into thin ribbons. That's called a chiffonade. So we're just going to take these basil leaves, and I've already stacked them up, and you just want to roll them up just like it was a cigar. And when you've got it in a nice tight roll, you're just doing a sort of soaring scissor motion to get nice ribbons just like that. It's really simple, and we're going to use these on top of the soup. So on my cutting board we have our 8 mini chicken fillets. We laid down some cling film, and then we placed the chicken fillets on and then covered it with some more cling film. And now we want to bat it out using a meat bat, but if you don't have a meat bat, then you could use something heavy like a rolling pin, and you just want to gently bat out the chicken. And the reason we're doing this is we want the chicken fillets to cook quite quickly. So by batting them out and making them an even thickness, when we come to grill them, they will cook really quick. And by using the cling film, it will make it less messy and they won't tear, because otherwise the chicken might stick to your bat. You don't need to hit the chicken really hard, just lightly. Try to prevent making holes into the chicken fillets, and I think that's enough right there. I've divided the remaining olive oil into 2 little ramekins, and we're going to brush the chicken fillets with some of the olive oil. And then we're going to layer the chicken fillets. So we're just going to turn them over first and brush the oil on the other side. And then we're just going to stack them into that container till we're ready to cook them. I don't want to season them yet, because seasoning them with salt and pepper will just draw the moisture out. So again, we'll brush a little bit of olive oil. I want to make sure I don't mix up the olive oil, so that's good. And now we'll just put these straight into that container, and the olive oil will help to stop them from sticking together till we're ready to grill them. So now we're ready to grill our little chicken fillet garnish for the soup. We're going to lay it at a 45-degree angle. I'm just going to do 4 and then do 4 more, because if you load the pan up, it'll just cool it down too much and you won't get a nice char mark on the chicken. So now you have a light char marking. You won't get too much in a pan like this, but it will give you a little extra flavour. So when it's about like that, that's good. And now we're ready to serve our soup. So here we have our yellow split pea soup, absolutely delicious, and topped with our grilled chicken, a chiffonade of basil, a julienne of the serrano ham, and some crispy ham just right on the top. Enjoy!